Hi all, very good afternoon or good morning, and thank you so much for joining this webinar. Let me introduce two eminent speakers from Acronis. I have Sanjeev Mondal. He comes with total experience of 15 years in the industry. He spent almost 8 years into data protection and cybersecurity solutioning. He is currently handling the pre-sales activities as a senior solution engineer in Acronis for South Asia region. I have Sunny Verma. He is working as a cloud partner success manager in Acronis. He comes with a total experience of 8 years. He's an ex-KPMG with expertise in SaaS-based products like Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, Zoho, and Dassault systems. So myself, this is Kannan Srinivasan here. I come with 21 plus years of experience in security. I currently head the cybersecurity in GAPS. Welcome to the session. So before we get into the webinar, I would like to start the session with a poll question. So do you have a cyber resilience roadmap and adequate tools to protect your organization today? It's a simple yes or no question, and it's a 30 seconds for you to respond. We would like to understand whether you have a cyber resilience roadmap today, and do you have adequate tools to protect your organization? 5 seconds. Yeah, that's very nice. So as expected, many organizations today, they have the roadmap, and to some extent, they have the tools. What we feel is majority of the organizations, they are in the process of having all the tools in place and make sure they are able to recover their systems within a required or the specific period of time. So with that said, let's get into the session. The first slide, please. Yeah. So I'll just give you an overview in terms of the cyber resilience, and then I'll hand it over to the key speakers here. So no organizations today, they can claim that they will not face any cyber attacks, right, or breaches or incidents. So cyber resilience, it focuses on how well the organization is able to protect against incidents and its ability to recover the business and minimize the long-term impact to the organization. So number one, you have to protect, and you have to you should be able to recover your systems in a short span of time. So what organizations should really focus on is having a right technologies and tools in place which will protect your environment. You have people who have the ability to and the right tools and the capability to identify and highlight an incident on time, right? So number one, your team's ability, and the tool's ability to identify if there is an incident going on. Third one is you need to have a clearly defined process and technologies to address an incident. And last but not the least, by doing all this, we give you the assurance to the senior management and the business, saying there won't be any impact in case of any cyber attack, right? That is the key. Giving an assurance to your management, that you will be able to recover the systems without any issues. So if you ask me, hey, where do I start this journey? How do I achieve highest maturity level in cyber resilience today, right? I would say start with your basic, the cyber essential tools. You have, have the process in place. You have the policies and everything well established, and have some of the basic attacks you should be able to prevent. Here you can use some of the tools like SOAR and automation to get these things done. So how do you integrate your cybersecurity into operations and have all the cyber risk management process in place. Next one, let's say, okay, I have done it in my environment. So what next is, then how do you involve your suppliers and make sure they also have a process in place, so they'll be able to support or they will not create an impact to your environment. And last but not the least, how do you embed this whole thing as part of the business objectives so that you get the much larger benefit. So with that said, maybe I will hand it over to Sunny. So Sunny, we would like to hear what, according to you, are the key problems in the current hybrid environment. Over to you, Sunny.
Yep. Thank you, Kanan. So, given the situation that we all are in, of course, the COVID-induced pandemic, so hybrid model of working is the new norm. So, be it any kind of location, employees, they are working from the respective locations. So, with this, it has increased even more impediments in the way of IT professional than ever. So since the digital threats, they are increasing by leaps and bounds, it is high time that each and every organization, we need to today invigorate our IT department with the latest and the best possible offering in the market. So I usually put my clients in a difficult spot each and every day, asking them what exactly the plans do they have when it comes to the IT infrastructure. What plans do they have, or if they have any solution, how do they manage their patch management, how do they do uh, things against the most so-called ransomware attacks these days, what solutions do they have. And 85% of these customers of mine, they are spellbound because they know they need such solution, but how to get those solutions, who is the best possible solution provider in the market, they probably do not know that. So in today's time, it is all about keeping your softwares up to date. It is all about safeguarding your workstation servers, your IT infrastructure in a nutshell, safe from all the digital threats that are there nearby us. May I have the next slide, please? Yeah, yeah. So when it comes to digital trust is something that is under compromise now, right? And since we are in a decade wherein we all are getting transitioned, a big shift in the digital change. So technically, in order to be a digitally fit organization, the customers and the main important thing, its own employees. Your most important, your own employee need to trust your product. You need to, your own employee need to be digitally fit, because the kind of the threats that are there nearby us. So it is imperative for us to be digitally fit all the time. So digital transformation has brought upon new business opportunities, but alongside the new business opportunities, it has also got us vulnerabilities. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Sunny. That was very good insight.
Yep.
Now, I'll request Sanjeev to share his thoughts on what are the technology barriers in achieving the cyber resilience. Over to you, Sanjeev.
Yeah, thanks, Kanan. And first of all, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining this session. Thanks, Gapstech, to arrange this webinar and give us chance to just share our experience and just share our product information to you people. So basically, as Sunny said and Kanan, you said, so we all are into the digital environment, because nowadays we all are covered with the digital product. So everything we are using basically digital, whether it's a laptop, mobile, even watch basically. So we are using digital watch that is basically tracking our heart rate and how many steps you are doing every day. So everything we are tracking basically. So when we talk about our IT environment, basically office corporate environment, so we always try to protect those environment with different solution, or as much as possible we can try to protect from external threats basically. But so So parallelly, we can talk about like internal threat also. That is another threat. So we cannot avoid internal threat. So that's why we always try to protect our data, because data is very important. As we say, time is money. So in IT industry, like data is also money. So if you lose your data, that means everything is gone. So always you need to protect your data. So what we do generally to protect our data? So first thing, we always think about like backup solution. So we should have another copy of our data, so that in case of any kind of disaster, we can recover our data. But backup will not solve your purpose basically. So let's take an example, like you already have taken backup, you have safe copy, but suddenly you got some ransomware attack. So what will happen? So simply maybe you will restore everything from your backup copy. That means you are losing time basically. So the restoration will take time again. So we always try to minimize that thing, that time, basically the restoration time, and always we try to protect our system as much as possible. Maybe we cannot like do it 100%, we cannot protect our system 100%, but still we can try like 99% also. So most of organization, they use different solution to protect their environment. So if I talk about backup, so they use different backup solution. If I talk about antivirus, they use different antivirus. If I talk about vulnerability assessment, maybe you have some different solution for vulnerability assessment or patch management kind of thing. So multiple solutions you are using, or our customers are using nowadays to protect their environment from different threats. So that become complex. Why it is complex? Because you need expertise for each and every domain basically. You need expertise for backup, you need expertise for patch management, maybe you need expertise from like AV environment. So that becomes a complex environment basically. And then other way, the expense, that is one of the most important thing for every organization, basically the budget for IT. So if you go for multiple solution, definitely you have to have huge budget for that basically. So and then after that also, you are not sure whether your environment is fully secured or not. So that's why like we always talk about the integration. We always talk about like the synchronization between different products basically. So mostly we will talk about today the integration, how what is the power of integration, and how a integrated solution will help you to protect your environment completely. Okay, next slide, Kanan, please. So as I said, like these all are the areas where you need protection basically, like for backup and disaster recovery. So for protecting your data, so maybe you have data lying in your end user machine, you have server data, you have virtual machines data. So lots of data are there. So you need to protect those data. So for that, maybe you need backup. And also parallelly, you need disaster recovery for mission critical application, like you have a SQL database, or maybe you have Oracle database, or you have like enterprise application like SAP kind of thing. So for those systems, you cannot afford downtime. You have very less downtime basically. You can afford maybe 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes, or maybe you cannot afford 10 minutes also. So you need less time. So in that case, always people think about the disaster recovery, where they can instantly switch on their machine on different environment, or maybe on cloud, whatever it is. So that your user can just seamlessly start their working. So that is the one part. Again, like patch management. So we have seen almost like average patch management time is near about like 100 to 120 days. We have seen like even sometimes we skip our patch management also. If we see like our normal Windows update also, we always try to skip that, because we think if we start update, I'll lose my time basically. So it will take maybe 1 hour, 2 hour time to finish that patch, finish that update basically. So that's why we always try to skip those things as a user basically. And for IT administration, or maybe for IT team for every organization, they also like forgot sometime to do the patching of their applications, basically whatever applications they have in their environment. So again, patch management is very, very important nowadays, because if you don't do patching of your application, then that is the one area where you will get complete like you will be in disaster, basically. Like that is the area from where external threats can get into your network and they can just scrap your environment completely. Then antivirus, anti-malware, that is the very basic and common thing, basically. So everybody, we use like maybe some kind of antivirus, maybe McAfee, Train Micro, lots of players are there in market. Basically, they are offering like ransomware protection, they are offering antivirus, they are offering anti-malware solution. So sometimes like traditional antivirus also misses some attack, basically, because maybe due to some local signature mismatch, or maybe they have less integration with like AI and ML based technologies. So those things basically can give you trouble. And again, remote management, that is another important thing nowadays, because during pandemic we have seen like almost 100% people worked from home, and still after that pandemic also it's not yet over yet, but still it is relaxed nowadays, and people are going office, but still more than 60% people are working from home, basically. So in that case, it is really difficult for IT team or IT like administrator to help their remote user, basically. So they use some kind of tool like maybe AnyDesk, TeamViewer, or any kind of remote tool to help their user remotely. So that also another area where you can get attack from outside network. So all those things to protect all these things, you use multiple solutions. So again, so our approach is basically to offer you to suggest you go for an integrated solution, and go for kind of single platform kind of thing, so where you can manage everything. So you can minimize your resource, you can minimize your expertise, you can minimize your but I can say your cost also. So all those things basically you can achieve through integrated solution, through single platform kind of thing. So next solution, next slide, Kanan.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Sanjay. I mean, that was a very good insight. So just to let you know, like, I mean, patching has always been a problem, even in the current pandemic situation, with people are not, coming to office, or they're working from home, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you patch the machines on, at the right time? You need multiple tools, or you have to ask everyone to connect to the either come to the office or connect to the office through a VPN network. So all these comes with a cost. Of course, when you compare it with the cost and the risk, right? Like, I mean, not patching and that resulting in a security incident is significantly higher, right? So well said. Like, I mean, having a one integrated solution that will, number one, identify, hey, are there any vulnerabilities in your system, and number two, like, I mean, it will also help you to do the patching, right? I don't have to depend on multiple tools, because there is also an element of false positive. There is also an element of, like, I mean, no, hey, are they working together, and make sure, like, I mean, you're getting one seamless report, right? Like, I mean, all these are definitely some of the key challenges.
Yeah. So mostly like Kanan, just to brief on that part, basically, like the different solution, the most like problematic part is like the integration, because they don't talk to each other, basically. So that is the biggest problem. And the advantage of organization, if they use integrated solution, the advantage of integrated solution, maybe it will offer you single agent solution, single console solution kind of thing, so that you no need to use multiple agent in your machine. So that kills your resources, basically, and you no need to manage multiple console. So like where you will get different console, different view, different expertise you need. So those things easily we can minimize, basically, with the integrated solution. That is the advantage of.
Exactly. And other thing is, Sanjay, so integration is one part, but I should not be, spending time to develop a code to write this integration points. Meaning, I can have
Yep.
multiple tools from various different vendors, but if I have to depend on a developer who has to, like, I mean, basically write a code to integrate it with multiple systems and show it in a single dashboard view, right? Like, I mean, it's always going to be a challenge with any small
Correct.
change or even a small upgrade. I have to completely rewrite the entire application again and
Yes.
do enhancements constantly. So, Sanjay, next thing I would like to understand is what is the framework that you are trying to propose, and what are the different challenges that you have faced, and how to address some of the key challenges. Um, let's bring the slides and over to you, Sanjay.
Yeah, so definitely, like when we talk about cyber security and cyber resilience, so definitely we should talk about the niche cyber security framework, because without that we cannot like fulfill our expectation, or maybe whatever we are expecting. So that cannot be done basically without niche cyber security framework. So why niche cybersecurity framework? I believe lots of security people are there as audience basically, so they know what is niche cybersecurity framework. That is not, this is not new to you people basically, but still I'll explain this framework here. Why? Because the solution which we have, that is basically completely based on niche cybersecurity framework, because we follow niche cybersecurity framework, and based on that we are offering things. So first thing is identify. So what is identify basically? The first pillar of niche cybersecurity framework basically. So identification is basically identification of threat. So what kind of threat you have, or what threat you are going to have basically. So those things, two things, one is already there, one is incoming, means anytime can get into your system, or anytime you can expect that threat basically. So that is called basically advanced threat basically. So those things you need to identify. So for that, first thing, you need to assess your environment. So we have complete infrastructure discovery, auto discovery option, or infrastructure assessment functionality. That is basically part of identify. Then proactive detection or proactive protection, we can say, that is vulnerability assessment, where you will get the complete information of vulnerability for each and every systems basically. So whether it's a workstation, servers, virtual machine, you will get all level vulnerability assessment, like OS level, operating system level. That is one of the biggest things basically. So we always keep that part, operating system vulnerabilities. Second is the application level vulnerability. So what kind of vulnerabilities you have, you will get all those details under identity. And also the data protection map. So why data protection map is important? Because you should know which data is protected, which data is not protected. And then definitely that is your choice basically. So maybe some data are there you don't need to protect, so that is less important data for you, so you can skip definitely. But still you should have information, you should have complete report kind of thing, like which data is protected, which data is not protected. So all those things you should basically follow, or you should have under NIST framework. Then once you are detected, or once you identified your gaps, or once you identified your threats, so then you should protect your machine. So how you will protect your machine? So first, like definitely you should have one solution, or you should have multiple solution maybe to protect your machine. So for that you have to just use some solution. So you need to install agent kind of thing, and maybe that maybe it would be agentless also, but most of solution has agent based solution. Then like unified policy management. What is unified policy management? So one is like you can create single policy for your entire organization, so that nobody can skip that, or else you can just create multiple policies for different level of users or different level of systems basically. So sometimes we have seen like for top management, we can create different policies. So maybe top management people, they need something like exceptions or some extra access of your applications or of your devices or of any external workloads kind of thing. So in that case, maybe you can create a separate policy for them. Maybe for general user, you can create separate policy. So it's completely customizable. That's why we give an unified protection policy management option. And there also you will get the flexibility to create multiple policies for multiple users or multiple policies for multiple systems, basically. Next, device control, another thing which is basically controlling your devices. So the very basic thing like USB port, we always try to block our USB port. Every organization, they block their USB port by default nowadays, basically, because nowadays remote work increased a lot, basically. So users are carrying their laptop in their home, or maybe they are traveling. So in that case, they use different pen drive or different external drive to get data from different sources. So in that case, you can set policies for those kind of devices also, like what kind of external devices they can use or they should use basically in their machine. So if it's a trusted device, then only it would be accessible, otherwise it would be denied simply. So those kind of protection you should have in your environment or in your organization. So that is the protection. So as I said, as much as possible you can do, but you cannot stop 100%. So but still, so those things we should follow. Then detection. So after all those things, still if you get any detection, then you should have proper detection methods or like detection process. So how you will detect those things? So if I take simple example of antivirus or anti-malware, so two kind of detections we have seen basically, and we see generally. That is, one is the local signature based detection. That is the traditional antivirus does, basically local signature based detection. Another is like AI and ML based detection. So nowadays, like most of like antivirus, anti-malware solution are AI and ML based, basically the artificial intelligence and like machine learning based detection. So how they work basically, how like AI and ML based solution and signature based solution works. So signature based solution like always like machine level detection basically. So already if something is there in your machine that is not from outside, so definitely that would be detected as a like local signature base. But if anything is coming from outside network or outside, it means basically the external threats, that would be detected under AI nowadays. And then both can work together, basically AI, ML and signature based detection. So that way you should have proper solution to detect all those things. So as I said, sometimes antivirus also misses all those things, like ransomware attack. So just to give you one information, like just today I got one call from one of our customer, and in the morning like 8:30 around, he called me and he said, Sanjeev, we got ransomware attack yesterday night and our 40 VMs is completely down, so we need to restore 40 VMs on urgent basis. So I said, okay, no problem. So you can do that. You have that copy, so you can easily like restore data from your backup copy. So just one information, like the solution which they're using Acronis solution. So now maybe you may ask, like, if they are using Acronis, how you cannot protect that ransomware? But thing is that they are using a different security solution, and they are using our solution only for the data protection, means only for the backup. So in that case, so I cannot protect that ransomware, because they already disabled my modules. They are using one of our module, that is the backup. So that's why I said, so if you have backup, you can recover. But if they used our solution, it definitely means the ransomware module, definitely we can protect that, because our ransomware technology is something different. That is basically the real-time protection nowadays. So real-time protection means basically it will protect your live machine as well as the backed up data, which data is already backed up. So real-time protection means the data which ransomware is trying to encrypt, basically that data would be reverted back to original state automatically if there is any attack, ransomware attack. So that is the advantage, basically. That is the advantage of integration. That is the advantage of like a single solution. So next, like you can just track your other resources health, basically, like hard disk health control and everything you can track proactively. So if your hard disk is going to die or hard disk is going to crash, so that information also you will get proactively, so under detection. And so that all those things you will get in dashboard and reports, basically. So next level is the response. So how you will respond to any attack, basically. So first thing is like, so if it detects any malware or antivirus, automatically that would be sent to quarantine, so without any like delay. So you can track all those things, all those files which are like quarantined, basically. So you are getting all those things in AV also nowadays. So all antivirus basically keeps that quarantine file information, so that you will have option to do the restoration and put it in whitelisting also. So because sometimes we have seen due to behavior, basically, so because like the detection is basically the behavioral detection. So if it detects anything suspicious, so automatically that would be sent to quarantine, basically. But sometimes we have seen some trusted application behavior also detected as a suspicious, because maybe that application is doing encryption or that application is doing some kind of like compression kind of thing. So automatically a system detects that as a suspicious and sent to quarantine. So in that case, maybe you can put those application as a whitelisted application. So that's why it keeps like quarantine information. So that you will get definitely all those information. And then like patch management, that is another thing. So after vulnerability assessment, if you get like information like all these applications or operating system are not patched, lots of vulnerabilities are there, so you can do patching easily. So but again, so during patch management you have to think about another important point, that is after patch management, if your system is not working properly or something is wrong with your application, then what you will do? You have to roll back, basically. You have to roll back to the previous stage, because this is very common problem for every organization. Sometimes like I get queries from customer, oh, hey, I have done patch management, but my system is not working, what to do? So the rollback is the only one option you can do. So if you roll back your system, then you will get back your previous stage. So for that, you should have proper copy, basically. You should have proper backup solution in place. Here we have integrated backup patch management solution. So you no need to take backup previously. Before patch management, automatically our system will take a backup. And then after patch management, if you feel everything is working, then definitely you can scrap that backup. Otherwise, you can use that for a recovery point. So that is one of the things, basically. So the integrated solution, again, the patch management integrated with backup, basically. Then finally, we have the recover part. So where you will get the backup and disaster recovery option. So like if you need any data to be restored, so you can restore from the backup copy easily. Or maybe if you want complete machine or complete system to be recovered on a different system with the compute point and resources, and then you can go for the disaster recovery, definitely. So that's the thing, the backup and disaster recovery is there. Then we have forensic information option under NIST framework. What is forensic information? Because sometimes we need to capture everything under a system, or maybe in the hard disk, basically. So whatever data is there, whether it's a free block, whether it's a used block, doesn't matter. We need to capture everything for the forensic matter. So in that case, you should have forensic capabilities, basically. So forensic capabilities will capture the complete disk information. So complete disk information in the sense, so complete hard disk. Each and every sector and block in your hard disk, whether it's a free block or used block, doesn't matter. So it will capture. So sometimes we have seen we run like disk defragmentation. So that is very common term, disk defragmentation. So to basically just accumulate all the free space and the used space separately. So So that's the thing. Basically, we have forensic backup information so that you can easily capture all the information in your hard disk. And finally, the remote management or remote desktop functionality. So that is another important point, the remote desktop. So IT team should not use like any third-party tool or any and like other application. So within this platform, so they will get the remote functionality also, so that easily they can capture or they can just support their user basically. So that's the thing. That's the like platform of Acronis, which follows NIST cybersecurity framework. And next slide, Kanan, please.
Yeah, very well said, Sanjeev. Let's go to the next slide. It's just wanted to summarize and get a integrated view about the data protection scenarios. Over to you, Sanjeev.
Yeah, so that's why we are going to discuss about this like single platform, single agent integrated solution. So where you will get everything in a single platform basically. So first thing, so you will get data protection and you will get cyber security features. So both are in a single platform. And the most importantly, as I said, the single agent solution, and this will help a lot to you people, because you should not use multiple agent in your machine. So most of time we have seen IT team said, hey, machine is getting slow due to your agent, or users are complaining my machine is getting slow day by day. Then so only thing IT team does like, okay, just increase your RAM, but that will not solve the purpose. Increasing RAM or like increasing your processor or hard disk capacity, that will not solve your purpose. The thing is that the agent load. So if you install like 4 or 5 agent in your machine, then definitely that will kill your resources. The similar similar nature, basically similar like activities they do basically. So that's why we are offering, or we have this solution like a single platform integrated solution, where you will get complete thing like data backup recovery, definitely disaster recovery. You will get the protection like antivirus, anti-malware protection you will get, which is basically like next gen data protection. And also we have real-time protection, which is next gen continuous data protection option, that is also available. You will get the proactive protection like vulnerability assessment. Then again related to that, we have patch management. You will get global local whitelisting option, so you can do whitelisting of your application or program kind of thing. So those things are available. And also like forensic backup and smart protection plan. So smart protection plan, something like advanced threat information. So whatever threats are upcoming, or maybe like new threats are going to arise in our environment, so those things also you will get like in a single platform. You will get alert, basically proactive alert of those threats. So all these things basically we will get in a single platform. So like most probably we are going to discuss, or maybe I can demonstrate in a short demo today. And
Yeah.
after that, if you have any query, so definitely we can address those, and we can just set up a separate session for you.
Well
Over
said.
to you, Kanan. Yeah.
That's quite a lot of features in a single platform. Before we move on to the demo, right? I mean, I would like to hear from the participants on what are the challenges that they currently face in their organization. So let's bring the whole question, and let's hear it from the participants. So where do you see challenge in addressing cyber resilience in your organization? So I know Sanjeev just explained about the key areas. So out of which, like, I mean, where do you see the challenge in your organization? You have 30 seconds to respond. Five more seconds. Thanks. Detection. Okay. So one thing I see is from the response standpoint, right? Most of you have uh, clearly identified that is less. You are able to respond well, but the key challenge is from the detection standpoint, right? How do you identify if something is going wrong, or does it give the alert at the right time? And with that, you take a right decision, prevent an attack or a ransomware, at an appropriate time, so that it doesn't impact your organization. So thanks for sharing this input. I thought we'll take this opportunity to give you a quick demo of what Acronis as a platform can do. So over to you, Sanjeev. You can show us a quick demo on how Acronis platform can help in addressing some of the key challenges that we just discussed about. Over to you, please.
Yeah, thanks. I believe screen is visible. So
yes, it is. Sanjeev? Sanjeev?
okay. Okay. So let me just show you how it works and how you can protect your workloads basically. So first thing, this is a single platform and the product is basically Acronis Cyber Protect. So why it is Cyber Protect? I said actually in my presentation because it has data protection capability as well as cyber security features. So that's why we give a name of cyber protection. So first thing, like this is kind of that dashboard where you can just check each and every status basically. So first thing, like here, if you have cloud applications like Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace, so if you have those things, so you can just track all those accounts here. We have backup capabilities, like if you want to track your backup capabilities, you can track here. Then we have like vulnerability assessment. So here you will get the vulnerability details, also like existing vulnerability details, and overall information you will get, like the daily basis information you can get, like what is the backup size today, if there is any malicious URL blocked or not, or existing vulnerabilities, and is ready to install information. So everything you will get is a single view basically. And here you will get the data protection map option. So how many machines are completely protected, how many machines are not yet. So you will get the complete information. I'll get into details for each and everything a little bit. So just give you the brief idea.
And one thing, Sanjeev, is like, I mean, this is a multi-cloud environment, right? Like, I mean, it can connect to say AWS or
yes,
Azure,
yes.
GCP, and even your on-prem. So it's a true hybrid solution, is my understanding.
Yes, complete hybrid solution. So Here you will get the alerts basically, so all kind of alerts you will get, and then this is the activity tracking section. So here you can track each and every activity, the status, description, device name, start time, end time. Even you can track the started by option, means who started that activity, whether it's a on schedule activity or somebody initiated, so you can track that. And this is the information like threat feed, as I said, like smart protection plan or advanced threat information. So you will get all advanced threat information here, like, so you can see lots of threats are there, recent threats, upcoming threats. So and the category also you can track. So any threat I can select and I can get into the details, what kind of threat it is, what is the type, and then the release date of that threat. So if you want to protect, we have remediation option. So if you can just click on the run recommended action, so it will give you the protection plan, what kind of protection you need. That means you need to enable anti-malware protection for these machines. So if machines are not protected, so this machine is not protected, so I need to protect this machine. Simply if you click on apply, so automatically this machine will be protected. So this is kind of advanced threat information or advanced it's protection plan, basically the simplified or what I can say, smart protection plan basically. Then device option. So this is the section where you can add your devices. So whatever devices you want to add, you can add. So we have wide range of support, like for workstation level, we support Windows, Mac. For server, we support Windows, Linux, all flavor. So for workstation, we support Windows XP Service Pack 2 onwards till date. And for server operating system, we support Windows Server 2003 Service Pack 1 onwards till date. And Linux, all flavor, all
And
versions we
another thing
support.
I've seen, Sanjay, is there was a scenario where customer had multiple flavors of Windows. What I mean by that is starting from Windows 7, Vista. So they had multiple versions.
Yeah. So that is supported. That's why I said. So the support is basically from Windows XP Service Pack 2 onwards till date. So everything would be covered under that, basically. Windows XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, everything.
32-bit, 64-bit, and everything put together.
Yeah, 32, 64, everything. So for virtual environment, again, like the very known VMware ESXi, Hyper-V, and apart from that, RHEV, Citrix, Nutanix, and then KVM. So everything we support, even Oracle virtual environment, scale computing. So all are supported. Applications like SQL, Exchange, Active Directory, Oracle Database, then Microsoft 365, Google Workspace. So these two, I think it's a very important nowadays, because like most of organizations, they use cloud email solution, maybe M365 or maybe Google Workspace. So and then both the things should be protected, because Microsoft doesn't offer email security or email backup solution like as a part of like email. So that thing, basically, that is a customer responsibility. Customer should take backup of their email or security for their email. So for that part also, Acronis is there to support, or Acronis is there to protect your cloud applications like M365 and Google Workspace. So once you added your devices, then you can go for the protection plan. So here we have protection plan. So different protection plan you can create, so everything you will get in a single platform. So here you can
Sandeep, you want to touch upon other features? Not able to hear you, Sandeep. Okay. Sandeep, can you hear us? Sunny?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
I think we have some issues with Sandeep. Fine then. In the interest of time, should we take up the questions from the audience and address those questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's bring the questions, and we'll hear it from the audience. Like, I mean, what are the key things that we want to address, or if they have any challenges, how Acronis as a platform can address it.
Yeah. So Sanjeev is joining back.
Okay. The question is it possible to show an attack timeline based on MITRE framework?
Okay. So when it comes to attack timeline, if you could elaborate a bit on this.
Is Sanjay back?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. His arrow moves. Yeah, he's back.
Sanjay, I'm not sure if you heard that question. Is it possible to show an attack timeline based on MITRE?
Yeah, Kanan, I'm back, and can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you. So there is a question from the audience.
Sorry, my internet actually got disconnected. So
No problem. Can you hear us now?
I'm just resharing. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
Okay.
you.
So there is a question from the audience.
Can you share my
They would like
screen?
yeah, there is a question from the audience. They want to know, is it possible to show an attack timeline based on MITRE framework?
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. So the next question is, how about the Linux or KVM? Right? Will you be able to restore it from that, and bare metal restore through cloud?
Yes, it is possible. So we have complete support for KVM environment as well as RHEV environment. So you can restore, like bare metal restoration is possible from cloud directly.
Okay. The next question is a very interesting question is, could the cyber attacks be controlled in future strictly with the cutting edge technologies or tools? So what is your view on that?
Can you just repeat once again this question?
Okay. Could the cyber attacks be controlled in future strictly with the cutting edge technologies or tools?
Yeah, I think yes, it is possible actually. So first thing is that like a couple of things we are still working, and also lots of things are there in our solution at this moment. But definitely yes, the answer is yes, we can.
Okay. The next question is, assuming there is an attack that has happened, right? Somehow it happened, and the data got compromised. So can Acronis solution help in recovering the database?
Yeah, so two things basically. First thing is like, as I said, Acronis protects both live machine as well as backed up data. So if your data is already backed up and after that your data is compromised, in that case, definitely you can restore data from the backed up copy. But most of time, like we protect your live machine so that we can minimize your downtime basically. So if we protect your live machine, so definitely you no need to restore data from the backup copy. So your downtime would be reduced automatically. And then somehow if it's after that also if it's compromised, then definitely you can recover your data from backup copy.
Okay, that's good. And let's assume, see, one of the mission, I noticed some suspicious activities are going on. Will I be able to isolate that mission?
So once suspicious activity is detected, then automatically that machine would be isolated here.
Okay, okay, that is good. And
Because once it is detected, then that particular file and application would be sent to quarantine first, and then that machine would be completely isolated.
okay, so typically the any backup solution, right? I mean, what happens is like, I mean, does it overwrite the previous version? So let's say I have a version today, and that's a good version, and on top of it, like, I mean, it just got corrupted. Like, I mean, I have taken the backup for next 4 or 5 days. So I just want to take the backup that was taken on, say, last Wednesday. So does this platform help you take that? Because let's say if it is something like a Google Drive, right? Like, I mean, I may or may not have this kind of an option. Does this platform?
No, so how it works basically, like a typical like backup solution, what they do nowadays basically. So each and every backup they kept separately basically. So that is basically called kind of backup versioning. So yesterday, maybe your data was clean, your backup was completed, and today suddenly you got attacked. So definitely you can restore data from the previous backup or previous version, basically backup version. So that is possible. But in our case, something it is different basically. So we scan the backup copy also so that you can restore the clean data. So first thing, so you can recover data from today's backup also. So you no need to worry on that part. So the data which is corrupted by maybe virus or malware, so that data would be automatically cleaned at the backup storage also. And if I show you, so you can see here. So let me just share my screen. So here, if you see,
Sanjeev, we can't hear you.
also.
Now we can.
You can't
No,
hear me, or you can hear my sorry, you can see my screen.
no, we can see the screen, but we can't hear you.
Okay. No, I think.
Yeah, please speak something.
Yeah, so like this you will get the message basically.
Okay.
So backup is clear of malware. That means you can restore this backup easily. So this is a clean backup copy.
So one, I think
If something is
we have,
there, automatically.
okay. Sanjay, we have one last question. That is how Acronis react for unknown ransomware, and can we have a tree view or flow view of the infected machines? Does this platform support that?
See, first thing is let me share one information. So as a backup company, like Acronis was known as a backup company earlier, and so Acronis was the first company who introduced ransomware protection in a backup technology. So nowadays, most of backup solution, they are saying they have ransomware protection, but Acronis ransomware protection in backup technology is something different than others specifically, because so Acronis protects live machine as well as backed up data. Most of Acronis competitor or other backup solution, they protect basically the backed up data, not live machine. That's the first thing. Second thing, the protection rate of ransomware attack, the highest rate means protection Acronis has, because we have lots of case studies on that. Because the new ransomware pattern which you are saying, so I think every day we are updating our ransomware signature or ransomware behavior detections basically. So that's why the protection level is really high in Acronis for ransomware. So that is kind of guaranteed thing from Acronis side.
That's great to know, Sanjay. So I think we are on time. So thanks a lot, Sanjay and Sunny, for joining this session. And we really take a moment to thank all the participants who are in this webinar. Thank you all. Please, if you have any questions, please send it to us. We'll ensure your questions are definitely answered. Thanks again, and you all have a great evening. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, thanks
Yeah,
everybody.
thanks everybody, and sorry for the interruption. I got disconnected actually. So if you have anything, you can reach out Capstake team, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thanks.